So I'll take some abuse for that because I do IT for a living and I can't make the video play, but you'll have to trust me, it was great. So good evening, everybody. My name is Don Hullinger. On behalf of myself, as well as an incredibly dedicated team that's worked on Luminaria for a number of years and literally kept this whole part of the night running, I'd like to welcome you to the Luminaria ceremony for 2019. It's no secret, this is my favorite part. There's something magical when the lights are turned out and as your eyes start to adjust to the glow of the Luminaria bags. Quite honestly, it puts a lump in my throat each time. But before we get started, I'd like to say a couple of words about the event for those of you who may not have heard and who may have missed the opening ceremony tonight. First of all, this is an amazing organization. If you're looking for a place to spend time as a volunteer, there literally is nothing better than Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. I was just talking to a friend today. He was asking me about my experience, and I was quite truthful in saying that it's literally an honor to be a part of this organization all the way through. I was lucky enough to be a part of the Relay Committee back in 2008 as our first year in New Lenox as an independent event from Frankfurt and Mokina. And I remember when our very first American Cancer Society staff partner told us that for that first year, our goal for the event was $35,000. And we honestly started to laugh because we thought it was an absolutely unachievable number. And a few of us joked and said, wow, maybe someday we'll actually be able to raise $1 million. And we laughed because literally after doing the math, we figured it would take 30 years. But that very first year, we raised over $100,000 and we were named the Illinois Rookie Relay. Fast forward to now, in our 12th relay, and we have just hit a $1 million total donation to the American Cancer Society. Now, just so that it's clear, that's a net donation. The leadership committee of this event works unbelievably hard to keep expenses low, and with amazing partnerships like the Knights of Columbus, which we have, they're able to do that. After those expenses are paid, that's a net donation, so we literally have been able to contribute a full $1 million to the cause for a cure for cancer. Now granted, that's a monumental achievement, but here's the ironic part, which all of you know. The war from cancer is far from over. Clearly, incredible advances have been made, and while should we be very proud of our relay, very proud of our town, and very proud of the money that we have raised, please do not look at this as the end goal, but rather a significant achievement for our relay and as a step towards the cure. Okay, now on to Luminaria. You've had to listen to me for a lot of years, and I have to say, many of you have challenged us quite significantly with your handwriting on the forms that you fill out for us to put the luminarias together. So, as hard as we've tried, I know there have probably been mistakes, but we have absolutely tried as hard as we could in order to get it right. I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating. Each of those little white bags represents everything that Relay stands for. Many, if not all of us, share a similar story. Either you, a family member, or a close friend has been diagnosed with cancer, sometimes people from all of those categories. And again, like many of you, I'm also familiar with going through that process. Hope, prayers, worry, happy moments, sad moments, anxiety waiting for doctor's appointments, and anxiety waiting for news. All of that experience and emotion is wrapped up into each one of those little white bags. It'll take us 20 minutes or so to read through the names tonight, but I've always believed that it's very important that every person that has faced a battle with cancer is acknowledged to have their name read. For those of you that are present tonight, for those survivors that are present tonight, please know that we respect and admire your courage and your tenacity. You inspire us to continue the fight to raise money to try and cure this horrible disease. I hope you feel a sense of pride when your name appears on the screen and you hear it read. I hope you can feel the love and support not only from your family and close friends, but from the entire Relay community as a whole. When a name comes up of someone who is no longer with us, I hope it sparks a happy memory and a warm remembrance of someone dearly loved whose spirit is still amongst us. At the conclusion of the names being read tonight, we will invite you to the track to take a part in the customary silent lap at which time the photo slideshow will be shown on this screen behind me. Again, I thank you for your donations tonight to put over 700 luminarias on the track. And I hope that you'll continue to support this event for many years to come. May God bless those we have lost. May God bless the survivors that are here with us tonight. And may God bless all of you for the love and effort you put into this event.
June Alberico, Pat Allen, Dr. Barry Anderson, Susan Armamentos, Jonas Ostrauskas, Ed Badavanay, Nancy Badavanay, Alan Bakatic, Anna Bakatic, Craig Baldoff, Robert Bannock, Barb, Bryce Bartchak, Sugar Basleone, June Bass, Wayne Battersby, Laura Baudler, Beverly Baxter, George Butch Baxter, Mark Baxter, Emily Beasley, Aunt Pat Bender, Millie Bennett, Barbara Benson, Ted Berg, Jim Bergman, Jim Berry, Joanne Benatti, John Black, Wilma Black, Nancy Boschel, Sarah Bogdan, Rosemary Bolker, Donna Bowles, Marie Murphy Bond, Esmeralda Bonk, Richard Borms, Virginia Borms, Mary Both, Jack Boyle, Julie Boyle, Jim Brabeck, Judy Brabeck, Judy Brand, Ed Brink, my jerk brother, Mike Brown, Lilla Brownson, Karen Bruck, Sharon Bruner, Brett Brunke, Dennis Brunke, Peg Bryan, Jacob Breskowitz, Hannah Bullion, Fran Bulow, Lori Bumbliss, Rose Camelli, John Carden,
Carol Carlson, April Carson, Cherry Casto, Don Cates, Carter Call, Pat Call, Henry Chavez, Rita Chen, Louis Childs, Mary Clancy, Pat Clark, Pauline Clark, Jackie Clipper, Bob Clyde, Robert Clyde, Paul Les Coates, Mary Cole, Harry Connor, Ann Connor, Lisa Conrad, Jim Cooper, Sanquita Coppridge, Jeanette Coria, Aunt Shirley Corrigan, Beverly Couch, Terry Cox, Andy Craighead, Bob Crawford, Nancy Crawford, Jeanette Creech, Helene Creed, Juanita Cristelli, Elizabeth Curtis, Blaine Curtis, Pam Curtis, Trudy Curtis, Jill Cusack, Nancy Cusack, Laurel Cutforth, Nancy Cutforth, Adam Sees, Patricia Zerwinski, Stanley Zerwinski, Pat Zubak, Jocelyn Dower, Patrick Dalton, Jackie Davis, Lillian Davis, Mildred De La Cruz, Ray Diebel, Virginia DeCarlo, Janine Decker, Ronald Decker Jr., Ronald Decker Sr., Joe D., Barbara DeCray, Pat Delgado, Debbie Delgado, Joe Delangelo, Jackie DePolo,
Alicia DeSandro, Mary Diamond, Joanne Dillenbeck, Walt Disney, Linda Dobbs, Lloyd Dodds, Nancy Domaraki, Jim Donahue, Arlene Donnan, Dan Donnelly, Lori Dorman, Joseph Drapp, Sandra Lynn Drapp, Ron Drobick, Candace Dubois, Donald Dunn, Sharon Durkin, Sharon Elias, Melinda Elliott, Bob Elliott, Kathy Elliott, Melinda Elliott, Amy Englert, Marcia Englert, Marcia Entras, Shirley Irwin, Joe Faulkner, Fallen Brother Knights, Ed Farley, Joe Fender, Nancy Ferenchik, Stephen Fetters, Molly Fetzer, Janet Filowis, Vanessa Fiore, Joyce Fitt, John Fitzgerald, Rose Fitzgerald, Sharon Flaherty, Curtis Flonder, Barb Flynn, Bree Foley, Brian Foley, Brianna Foley, Melissa Foley, Debbie Forsyth, Janet Foster, Patricia Faust, Joe Francoeur, Fred, Debbie Freeman, Mike Freeman, William Frent, a close personal friend, Paul E. First, Mark Fola, Rebecca Fola, Leanne Gall, Bill Gallagher, Rachel Gallagher,
Tracy Gambino, Fran Gardner, Kathleen Garling, Janice Gedrow, Joseph Gergley, Mary Gergitz, Felicia Gallardi, Peggy Gallardi, Patty Glasscock, Maureen Goins, Tony Golda, Alicia Gonda, Patrick Good, George Grasky, Judy Grasky, Colleen Gray, Kathy Green, Bob Greenwald, Bernard Gromala, Billy Gromala, Mary Grove, Frank Gursky, Debbie Gustafson, Eileen Haas, Gary Haas, Donna Haglund, Richard M. Haig, Barb Hall, James Hall, Marge Hall, Natalie Hall, Ken Hallman, Jack Hallam, Jan Hallam, Craig Halterman, T.J. Hans, Lily Mae Hardy, Beverly Harmon, Barbara Harris, Carol Hardigan, Tim Harvey, Caitlin Haas, Brian Hastings, Jack Hauscher, Marvin Geraldine Hayes, Sherry Hayes Clark, Betty Heckler, Yvette Helaw, Helen Heisey, Nora Helma, Michelle Hemke, Gary Henn, Lester Henney, Chris Hensley, Karen Hesse, Pat Hesse, Ken Hill, Dorothy Hoban, Betty Hock, Paul Hofflander.
Pam Hoffman, Kersey Hoffman, Ron Hoffman, Carol Haniotis, Suzette Horiza, Ted Hualt, Uncle Howard, Elijah Hudson, Ann Hollinger, Cynthia Hollinger, Robert Bebob Hollinger, Amy Hyman, Diane Immerzick, Rita Infanto, Taylor James, John Jamrosiak III, Jean, Elaine Johnson, Lorraine Johnson, Jolene, Doug Jones, Frank Jones, Gary Jones, Joe Judge, Auntie June, Carol Jerka, Dan Jerka, April Cam, Delian Kania, Mary Capusta, Nancy Capusta, Nick Capusta, Adam Carnabogi, Brian Carnabogi, Jim Kerrigan, Mickey Kerrigan, Mickey Casper, Elizabeth Haig Kearns, Aaron Keith, Kathy Kelly, Bill Kennedy, Anthony T. Keskill, Kate Ketman, Robert Kilborn, Joy Kinney, Donna Kirby, Cindy Kleska, Richard Clefman, Kathy Cleavorn, Donna Cook Claros, Leola Claude, The Knight Family, Jean Noddle, Ann Colas, Anna Consor, Ray Koziak, Clara Kowalczyk, Rick Craigie, Marcus Craker, Patricia Craker,
Dawn Kramer, Ellen Kranz, Kranz Dernolk, Elizabeth Kraus, Phyllis Krautz, Dennis Krawiz, Robert Krejci, Rick Kruger, Justine Kubicki, Peggy Kuhn, Joey Kurtz, Carl Kurtz, Marilyn Kurtz, Pat Quasigro, Verna Kwiatkowski, Nora Labanauskas, Tom Labanauskas Sr., Cheryl Laketta, Marcia Lahr, Brett Lane, Andrew Langloy, Kelly Lark, Carl Larson, Marty J. Larson, Mary Larson, Sharon Larson, Todd Larson, Laverne, Robert Lawruck, Jim Ledvina, Noel Lenahan, Robert Lenahan, Steve LeVay, Dolores LeVay, Steve LeVay, Gerald Levins, Pete Lewis, Denise Leanhart, Jenna Lindman, Cousin Lisa, Chad Little, Rich Latinsky, John Leckie, Trish Loftus, Loftus family, Tony Lopez, Anna Lorenz, Nancy Lorenz, Daniel Love, Nini Luchetti, Kathy McKay, Virginia Majero, David Malloy, Ray Malmgren, Matt Mamoser, Jerry Mangan, Tom Mangan, Judy Mansky, Elizabeth Marchbank.
Anthony Mara, Mary, Grandpa Frank Maskey, September Mateka, Patrick Matyasek, Patricia McAllister, Kathy McCarthy, Pam McCauley, Marilee McClintock, Richard McDade, Edna McDermott, Irene McDonald, Thomas McDonald, Tommy McDonald, Elliot McGann, Mary McGinnis, Barb McGowan, Monty McGrath, Catherine McGurk, Kelly McGurk, Lynn McKenna, Todd McKnight, Mary McLaughlin, Francis Medved, Robert Madrick, Bonnie Melcher, Marilyn Melcher, Ray Melcher, Scott Merritt, Sharon Merritt, Florence Mertes, Jim Meslin, Ron Metz, Joan Metzler, Sheila Mike, Gladys Lowly Miller, Gail Milner, Maria Miner, Debbie Mineth, Todd Mineth, Ray Mitchell, Mary Mlott, Margarita Mogato, Eugene Malloy, Grace Malloy, Karen Maloney, Kelly Maloney, Robert Moore, Becky Morgan, Liam Morgan, Bob Mrose, Judy Mrose, Kathy Mrozinski, Tony Mrozinski, Madison Mueller, Laurel Mullenbrook, Brad Muir, John Muir, Judy Mulcrone,
Murph, Clinton Pete Murphy, John Murphy, Pa Grandpa Murphy, Reverend Steve Murphy, Ruby Cole Murphy, Mark Murray, Alan Miskowski, Mary Naomi Nagy, Rod Nakey, Sheila Nash, Mary Neal, Julie Nagiri, Mel Nelson, Austin Nichols, Keith Neiman, Lynn Nolan, Thomas Nolan, Karen Novak, Melissa Novak, Diane Nowakowski, Bob O'Brien, Nancy O'Hara, Eddie Olchik, Brian O'Leary, Karen O'Leary, Astrid O'Laughlin, Norman Olson, Elizabeth O'Neill, John O'Shea, Kathy O'Shea, Susan O'Sullivan, John O'Toole, Michael O'Toole, Barbara Otto, Ronald Otto, Maureen Oxley, Sophie Picault, Susie Picault Shaw, Celeste Palermo, current Panduit employees, Barbara Panazzo, Judy Panazzo, Rod Panazzo, Samantha Panazzo, Papa, Nancy Parsons, Candy Partilla, Bernice Peruse, Jim Pastern, Cyril and Pernilla Pate, Dave Patrick, Mary Pavlik, Marcia Pavla, Gloria Pelga, Jim Pelplowski, Louis Peretta, Beth Perzak, Mary Ellen Pederek, Jonathan Peters.
Melissa Podkolski, John Pojadinsky, Patricia Poling, Ann Palmakowski, Richard Porter, Chris Powers, Dan Powers, George Powers, Bonnie Price, Mary Preby, Shelby Pruitt, Bill Prunty, Jim Prunty, Kathleen Prunty, Steve Purcell, Sue Perkart, Darlene Perler, Nadine Perler, Richard and Nadine Perler, Ray Purnell Sr., Vivian Quinn, Martin Raditz, Paul Rainieri, Therese Rainieri Marks, Dawn Ray, Rich Ray, Jim Ray, Ray Redden, Dawn Ray, Shirley Rhodes, Mark Ricker, Jane Renard, Ann Roach, Brody Roberts, Harold Robson, Helen Robson, James Michael Rosinen, Jackie Rosinski, Laura Rowan, Les Bruton, Bill Ryan, Bob Ryan, Don Ryan, Jean Ryan, Helen Ryan, Pat Ryan, Pete Ryan, TJ Ryan, Brenda Sadler, Richard Sadler, Irene Sanders, Lisa Sanders, Bob Sanfrantello, Jane Santiago, Dave Sather, Edith Sauer, Jamie Scagnelli, Pat Shekel Hollingsworth, Fred Shinkowski, Herb Schleichel,
Patricia Schneider, Barb Schrader, Deline Schuld, Terry Schuld, Joe Schultz, Edward Schusler, Jack Schusler, Ralph Scott, Cecilia Seabrook, Rosemary Seagat, Sue Seener, Barb E. Selvis, Ed Selvis, Bonnie Simi, Anthony Sinersha, Phyllis Sino, Arlette Seppi, Larry Seppi, Mary Settles, Jack Severins, Jenny Seymour, Kathy Sforza, Sharon, Denise Shika, Jean Shika, Madeline Sika, Rose Seacheck, Art Siegel, Joan Siegler, Ryan Sievers, Sherry Sievert, Judy Sinkowicz, Paula Sisko, David Six, Janet Scosi, Pam Scraben, Father Mike Slattery, OSA, Vicky Slako, Barbara Smith, Brian Smith, Jeff Smith, Kim Smith, Nancy Smith, Patty Smith, Jace Snevely, Cody Rose Soika, Judy Sokolowski, Lisa Salava, Jennifer Sowers, Deborah Speaker, James Spindler, Millie Spooner, Norm Spooner, Kay Stanek, Tom Stankus, Victoria Starks, Linda Stout, Cindy Staywick, Dawn Staywick, Dave Stelmack.
Cody Staginski, Sharon Stone, Stephanie Stradiv, Sharon Stratton, Millie Strayer, Father Bill Sullivan, OSA, Ethel Sutton, Sandy Sutton, Gail Spiller, Billy Swanson, Sharon Sylvester, Janet Srome, Kathleen Taggart, Jennifer Tanura, Faith Tapella, Thomas Tapella, Bruce Tassone, Jim Tatera, Ed Tatro, Helen Tatro, Karen Tatro, Philip Taylor, Rita Taylor, Helen Tusky, Nancy Thiel, Joel Thomas, Lynn Thomas, Nolan Thomas, Richard Thompson, Mary Sue Tim, Dawn Tobar, Teresa Tobin, Todd, Greg Toombs, Tara Torkelson, Rodolfo Torres, Shelley Tozy, Roy B. Traff Sr., Beverly Trebolo, Walt Trock, Florence Trojanowski, Leo Trojanowski, Robin Troyer, Brian Trusty, Karen Tyrell, Robin Urbanski, Sydney Valiska, Paul Vanakeren, Jay Vanna, Art Vandergrift, Esther Vandergrift, Chuck Vinkovsky, Brad Veerman, Linda Verderum, Alberta Vaverka, Elaine Vaverka, Kathy Vigich, Irene Vickers Stadinka, Janet Kruger Valletta, David Voigt,
Bill Waldvogel, Carol Waller, James Walsh, Matt Warren, Ray Webster, Nadine Weddick Miller, Nancy Weigel, Tom Weigel, Carol Weiland, Jenny Weiner, Ann Wenland, Larry Wenland, Michelle Wenland, Bill Werner, Marilyn Wessel, Rosemary Weston, Victoria Weston, Mary Wayne, Marlene Wheeler, Eileen Whittle, Jackie Wadacki, Barb Wadelski, Mark Wilcox, Emma Williams, Donald Witt, Sue Whitman, Mary Wolf, Jean Wolf, Judy Wolf, Carol Wood, Laverne Wood, Carol Woods, Nancy Woolley, Diane Wunderlich, V. Yeager, Tracy Yarbrough, Joseph D. Yurkinen, Dorothy Zach, Alan Zawislak, John Gramps Zawislak, Judy Sazzetti, Kathleen Zid, Susan Zid, Arlene Ziolkowski, Clara Zollner, Rich Zollner, Yvonne Zollner Houston, Catherine Zorden, Jay Zuccarelli.